Howdy, howdy, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Admin, and today I have a brand new data pack for you. Today's data pack is the More Totems pack. As you might expect, it adds more totems to the game. However, these are not going to necessarily be Totems of Undying. Let's check out the 5 totems that the pack adds. And if the pack has been updated, there will be a link in an iCard to a playlist with all of the other totems added by the pack. The 5 totems are the Budget Totem of Undying, the Ghost Totem, the Totem of Fire, Totem of Water, and Totem of Rage. And real quick, I want to give a huge shout out to my awesome patron supporters. All of the ideas in this video, as well as probably the next 2 updates, were proposed by my patrons. If becoming a patron of mine is something that you are interested in, there is a link in the iCard in the top right. Patron supporters get early access to data packs before they release. This one has been out for almost 2 weeks for them. They get access to sneak peeks of what I'm currently working on a pretty much daily basis. And in this case, they got access to being the only people that could suggest ideas for this data pack. So if that is something you're interested in, I would very much so appreciate your support. Oh, and we do have a survival server as well that you can play on with me. But anyway, let's jump right into the data pack. So to get started, we're going to need to make a custom crafter. That's a dropper facing upwards with a crafting table thrown on top. If we press L to bring up the advancements page, you can see all of the recipes show up in-game. So for example, the Totem of Water is made with 4 water buckets, 4 lapis blocks, and a Totem of Undying. However, these cannot be crafted in the custom crafter. They need to be crafted in the Totem crafter. That is made with dark oak planks, a crafting table, an emerald block, and a Totem of Undying. So placing the recipe into the custom crafter, that gives us a totem crafter. This is a block that can be placed out into the world by right-clicking. And personally, I think the model of it looks quite nice. Anyway, if you just right-click on it, we can bring up the crafting grid and make the recipes in here. So do any crafting that needs to be done in the totem crafter. So these are the recipes. They show up in-game, so I'm not going to go over them in this video. However, you can always find them again in-game, but also on our website where you download this from. Link in the description. Alright, so what do the 5 totems do? So we have the Budget, Ghost, Fire, Water, and Rage totems, and they all have unique abilities to them. So these 2 are like regular totems, but a little bit different. And then these 3, when held, they give you certain buffs upon different conditions. However, the Fire, Water, and Rage totems will not save your life in the case of dying while holding it. These are instead conditional on other things occurring. The Budget totem works pretty much like a regular Totem of Undying. If you use it, it will save your life from a death situation. However, it gives you only 1 level of absorption, and so that's 2 hearts instead of 4. And you can see I only regenerated health up to 2.5 hearts. A regular totem gives you 40 seconds of regeneration 2, which would bring you well past full health. So essentially the Budget Totem of Undying will save your life, but it's just not very good at it. But it's craftable, so if we look at the recipe, you can see it's made with dirt, wood, and a single piece of iron. So not a very expensive recipe, but because you do need a totem crafter, you would still at least need 1 legitimate totem. Alright, so the next totem is the Ghost Totem, and this one, when used, causes an explosion of particles, some smoke, and I am now invisible for 10 seconds. It also gives pretty much the same regen, and, well, it gives all the other positive effects that a regular totem would give. However, the invisibility it gives you, as well as the other effects, you'll notice they're not giving off any particles. That's because you are fully invisible after using this. You're invisible for 10 seconds, and that should be long enough for you to make an escape if you were like in combat or whatever. So this one's probably more aimed towards PvP, where the other ones might work better for PvE. Also, I like the texture, how it's semi-transparent. I think it's kind of cool. Alright, so as mentioned earlier, these 2 totems will save your life in the event of a death situation. The other 3 will not. So you'll see I will die and drop my stuff. And being the derp that I am, I forgot to set my spawn point, so there's no getting those items back. However, you can always run the function was.totems:"give items to give yourself all of the totems added by the pack, future and current totems. Okay, so what does the Totem of Fire do? Well, This gives you fire resistance when held. You'll notice though, we don't currently have fire resist. That's because it doesn't kick in until we're below 2 hearts. And so now I get my fire resist. If we go above that though, you'll see that I'm going to take a bit more damage. There we go. Because, yeah. Now, of course, this totem will never break, so if you're holding it, you can swim in lava forever. However, while it is saving your life from the lava, it's not exactly leaving you in a good situation. Me being at 1 heart in lava is really not a very good place to be. Also, when held to indicate that you do have the effect occurring, you'll see there's a couple of yellow particles coming off of me. Alright, so the other 2 totems work very similarly. The water totem gives you water breathing when held. However, you also, again, have to be below a certain health point. So, I can swim in water indefinitely with this, but if I heal up a bit, instant health, we'll just go with like 2 seconds of it, you'll see I am starting to deplete my air bubbles again, and when I start to drown, I will eventually have water breathing kick in at 2 hearts. So, I lost a little bit of health, but I am still alive, and I can survive in any situation. Of course, again, being underwater at 2 health is probably not the best situation to be in, so this isn't overpowered, it's just useful. At least that's what I'm telling myself, it's not overpowered, just useful. Okay, so the final totem is the Totem of Rage. The Totem of Rage also only kicks in when below a certain health, and you have to be pretty low. But once you do reach that low health, you get a pretty substantial buff for it. So you'll see I have some, I guess, reddish orange particles coming off of me, and I'm moving faster. That's because you get speed 2 and strength 2. This makes you quite the beast. For example, I should be able to one-hit kill mobs, such as cows, with a critical hit punch, due to me having strength 2. Of course, there are substantial downsides to this. So the strength that you get is obviously good for combat, but being below 2 hearts is extremely bad for combat. So overall, that balances it out a little bit. Also, it does have to be held in order for it to work, and so either have to devote an offhand slot or a main hand slot to actually get the effect. If you're not holding it, you don't get anything. But because it doesn't save your life, that means you cannot be holding an actual totem, and thus it is not quite as useful. Anyway, those were the 5 totems added by the More Totems data pack. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it, and make sure you don't miss out on all the future content coming to the channel by hitting that subscribe button. I've been trying to post at least 2 videos every single week, sometimes 3. But that's pretty much all I got, so I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for watching.